Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel. Reach out to me directly, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. In 2014, Bremont and Boeing signed an agreement to co-develop products that are Boeing-themed and Bremont-built. In 2015, the watches arrived, and this has been my favorite from the line. This is the Bremont Boeing Model 247 Titanium Chronograph GMT. It's a big name for a big watch, but it also offers big value and a lot of functionality. Bremont, one of the few accessibly priced brands that are making watches in Britain these days. The timepiece features a Swiss movement, English case construction, and a little bit of American aviation insight. First of all, let's talk about the fit. It's grade 5 titanium, or 6'4" as it's described in the aviation industry, 43 millimeters in diameter. It is a thick watch. It's 17.6 millimeters thick, 51.7 millimeters lug-to-lug, 22 millimeters between the lugs, but you can see how the lugs have been separated from the canister holding the movement in the dial, so ergonomically it doesn't quite wear like a 43. It's a big watch, no doubt. You can see it's not exactly cuff-friendly, but in titanium, it is light on the wrist, and with those uniquely sculpted lugs, you can see it does wear decently on my wrist. I would say you probably don't want to wear this watch on a wrist smaller than 15 centimeters circumference, and for the sake of proportion, 16 centimeters like mine might be the lowest wrist size you want to wear this watch. But again, even if you're talking 15, it's light enough that it'll be comfortable. This is a watch built for a big wrist. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, I've reviewed this watch before, but previously it was on the so-called Seattle recycled polymer strap. This is a lovely Bremont factory rubber strap, and I find that it's more in character with the watch. It's a lot more flexible than the so-called Seattle strap, which makes it more comfortable. And overall, if you are borderline sized wrist-wise for this watch, I think this strap makes it more viable because of the comfort and flexibility it offers. You can see Bremont even puts a propeller motif on the minders, so that's molded into the strap minders. There's a matching polished and satin finished Bremont buckle, and you can see that they have an elevated bridge over the two prongs that allows the strap to sit more inside the buckle than underneath, reducing the stack height on the wrist once it's strapped down. The case uses their so-called triptych construction. Grade 5 titanium is wonderful because it's lighter than steel, and it's also more scratch resistant than conventional 316. The mid case has been DLC coated for an extra layer of scratch resistance as well as a tonal contrast. Some striations have been added to give this massive cylinder a bit more definition, and you can see the construction of the case is robust, with hex screws used to fix the bars that retain the strap. No spring bars here, no chances taken, and that's something you like to see on an expensive sports style watch. Taking a look at the case, you have the black, you have the satin, and you have the polish. The polish is used discreetly and judiciously as an accenting. It doesn't dominate. The helical cut of the bezel as well as the crown and the shoulders for the chronograph pushers, of course evocative of aviation mechanics, a little bit like an aeronautical turbine. Now I screw out the chronograph pushers. They are screw-out pushers. The watch does have a screw-down crown. You can see the propeller motif. It's 100 meters water resistant, so though it is a pilot's watch, it isn't like those pilot's watches that are 30 to 60 meters. This one is fully swimmable. Now the bezel is bidirectional rotating. It's fully loomed. It has a ceramic insert for scratch resistance. You can line it up with any of the hands, but most conventional would be the alignment of the minute hand. As you can see, this is calibrated up to 60, so this gives you a 60-minute timing instrument that you can use in tandem with the chronograph. The dial is gray, the indices are applied, and the sub-registers are black. Everything is white-on printing, so the contrast level is high. You have a second time zone in 24-hour format, settable independently, and I'll show you how that works. There is an intermediate position. When you turn counterclockwise, you can move that 24-hour second time zone. When you turn clockwise, you adjust the quick set system for the date. And a lot of GMT watches force you to spin the local hour hand in order to quick set the date. This gives you a true quick set. Now, of course, if you pull the crown all the way, you activate the hacking or stop seconds function. You can see that the hour and minute hand have been blacked with only the loom showing or contrasting against the dial. And then the tip of the seconds hand features the Boeing logo. It's also loomed. There's a 24-hour track outboard against which to read the 24-hour hand. And as you can see, the watch's final assembly takes place in the London metro area. You'll also note that there's a small logo at the base of the chronograph hours register, and that refers to a shock resistance system that's built into the watch. There are shock absorbers built into the corners where the movement interfaces with the case and the movement spacer ring, and those rubber shock absorbers help to brace the movement against impact. So it is 100 meters water resistant and highly Shock, meaning this is one of the toughest watches you'll encounter, especially when the grade 5 titanium is taken into account. Now, it is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, and it has a real ETA Valjoux 7750. This is not a Sellita SW510. So the movement beats away at 4 hertz, 4 beats per second, 12 and 24-hour independent time zones, hacking seconds, 5-position adjustment, COSC certification. It is a unidirectional winder with a 42-hour power reserve, and of course it is a chronometer spec instrument. And you can see that it's been custom decorated with engine turning, chemically blued screws, a few polished screws, and a turbine-style Bremont rotor. A good-looking watch in every regard. It pivots on 25 joules. A full-featured all-arounder. This could easily be an only watch and a fun travel watch. Reach out to Tim Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And we're back with the Bremont Boeing Model 247 Chronograph GMT. You can see the entire bezel is loomed, as is the 24-hour hand.